What's up, nation? It's your boy Tommy Shake and Bake. I'm back at it again for another edition of the Sunday Wise Take NBA DFS podcast.
Boom.
I'm sitting here with Paulie D. That's 8 Ds. What's up, Paulie? What you up to, bro?
Chilling, bro. Chilling. Been a crazy ass week, and good news. Captain of the ship is on his way back. We should have CK back in the next few days.
Yeah, man. Thank God, man. I can't wait to get him back here, man. Get this all going again. So we kept it running, though, man.
Everybody said that, man. Everyone's been saying that. Shout out the nation, man. It was really nice, so many people messaged me about how they could help out, contribute, it was really, really nice. It was like, man,
family, man.
Yeah, we got this thing built. It was cool. It was really cool. I'm pumped to tell CK and show him all the messages. He's good. It's gonna make him feel good.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, how was your week? How'd you do this week? I saw Cash smashed on some golf again. Almost took it down.
Yeah. One of the sites sent me, FanDuel sent me a free contest, for golf, and
Oh, because they fucked up on the Saturday slate.
No.
Right?
It wasn't that. It was just it was from Thursday, and it was one of those things that they throw you, and my team was in second all weekend, and first place was $400, $500, so I would have taken it, but I was also I can't believe I normally enter it into other things, but that night. I just I bought into the basketball for the next day, and I just didn't have any money on, and I was like, whatever, but if they send you a freebie, you fill out a lineup. Finishing 14th, so I only won $100, but still it was cool. You know what I mean?
$100 on zero, I'll take that.
That was cool. But yeah, normally I would have been oh, I'll put this in 2 other contests, and I good, you know what I mean? So I was I didn't even know if I wanted it to do well or not. I was cross, but it was cool because the lineup was just very good. It was I knew I was finishing in the top. I got 6 of 6 through. Hardly anyone in the field did. It was it was just cruising through the weekend. It was pretty cool. It was a fun, just always in the lead kind of sweat, winning a race from the front. It's rare you do that in DFS. That was cool.
Yeah, man. Who was your big guy?
I had the first, second, and third place guys. I had.
Damn.
I think one, and then John Rahm was right behind them.
Yeah, he had a strong round on Saturday. That's what he brought it back. I think he was 6 under on Saturday, and then I think it put him in he was in 12th, and then had another good day on Sunday. I think another 5 or 6 under. So yeah, crazy weekend, man.
Yeah,
killing it again in golf. I saw a couple big wins at NBA this week too, man. So we got a nice little juicy 5-game slate tomorrow. You said you like 5-gamers, right?
Yeah. I like smaller slates. We've been having this crazy ownership, and on smaller slates that ownership is guaranteed to be crazy because there's just not that many options. So whatever plays projection systems pick up as optimal, whichever one's just. You can tell, because a guy's starting and someone's hurt, and this is a really good play. Those are going to be really popular, and we started to see yesterday and today some chalk spots really busting. Rajon Rondo was 70% owned today, and he is busting hard.
He's got I think 8 fantasy points or something like that. Yeah,
something along those lines. Yeah, it that is a good thing. The last few weeks have been rough, right? Because the chalk, yesterday, the DraftKings donkey was won with the lowest owned guy was 29%. His lowest owned guy, that is so unlike the way that those contests usually end up. You know what I mean? And we're seeing such high ownerships that when that stuff is wrong and you take the other side of it, you have to beat 10% of the field to win a contest, and it's again winning a race from ahead, and it's those are the best opportunities in DFS, and I think the whole industry is so trained right now to just play the optimal plays. Like, I've never seen guys 90% owned, and like we've been seeing it consistently, and multiple guys 60% owned. So it's going to be interesting. Like the second half of this basketball season, basketball gets wacky towards the end of the year. Some certain teams don't care, certain teams do. Certain teams like make trades. Certain teams have injuries, and like you know, things just get very very wacky towards the end of the year. So I think like the contrarian approach the rest of the NBA season is going to be very lucrative, and that's like when DFS is really fun. So I'm excited about basketball the rest of the way.
Yeah, that's definitely Cash's style of play, man. You got F the chalk, man.
Cash should clean up between now and April. He really should.
That's awesome, man. So you guys been killing it for me, man. I've been doing really well. Decent in NBA, a couple min cashes. But I don't play much on NBA because I just can't keep up. I try, man, but it is so freaking hard.
Yeah, so it is hard.
Another 2 weeks, man. We got some NASCAR.
Yeah, that's right. Man. That's right. That's right.
Daytona 500. We got the duels beforehand, so I think that'll be on Friday night. I got to double check again, and then the race.
Have you ever been to the Daytona 500?
I haven't been to the Daytona 500, but I did go to the All-Star race like 4 years ago. It was pretty dope.
In Daytona?
But I felt like a dumbass. No, in Charlotte.
Oh, Charlotte.
Yeah, I went, and then the next weekend's the 600, and I'm like, I'm such an idiot. I should have just waited a week and came back for the 600. Like, I got 80 laps of racing and 4 hours of traffic to get to my hotel 2 miles away. It was horrible, but the race itself was cool.
Daytona's like 3 hours for me, and that is like a live city. Like, it is fun to go up to Daytona for a weekend.
Oh yeah, my son's raced at Daytona.
So,
yeah, he races. They got a go-kart track up in Turn 2. We go down there. That's where we were racing nationally like 2 years ago when he was in the smaller, cadet size class, which is like younger kids.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's cool. That's a fun experience.
Yeah, man. He's in junior now. He's doing like 70 miles an hour on the straightaways, man. It's insane to watch. So
very cool.
Yeah, man. So I guess we'll dive right into point guard, man. That was a big intro, man. It was awesome. Little chill session right there. So starting off a point guard, you got Kyrie at 10-5. They're up against Brooklyn, man. What you think? Brooklyn's been hot decent recently, right?
Brooklyn has won like 19 of their last 23 games. They started the year 8-18, and their best player got injured, and like their like third and fourth guys kind of got hurt too, and they've just taken off. And like I've been saying that they've been playing in the most close games, like by a wide margin for a while, and like that's what starts to happen when a really bad team starts to like figure it out, and like take the step up, and like you're seeing that happen. There's actually like they have a pretty decent team, and they're like a few pieces, one major piece away from being like a contender in the East. Now that LeBron's out of the East is wide open. You're gonna see teams in the East go after big free agents this summer. It's gonna be fun. But yeah, Kyrie against the Nets, like I have no idea what's in to come on this slate. This is legitimately my very first second looking at it. Like, he's fine, but I like Kyrie in games that like I know that he's got to play well. Like when they play Golden State, he's got to keep him in. Boston is a lot. They're good, man. They almost beat Golden State the other day. Like they went toe to toe with them, and Golden State is ridiculous. So Brooklyn, they just lost Spencer Dinwiddie. I don't know if I go to Kyrie, and there's a couple decent names right beneath him. Steph Curry, Kemba Walker, D'Angelo Russell, like scoring guards against Boston. I think I'd play D'Angelo Russell first. Like if Kyrie goes for like 60, 70, like that means the Nets are in it. That probably means D'Angelo Russell is going nuts. You know what I mean? So I think I'd just play D'Angelo Russell. Kemba Walker is playing the Knicks, but he's at home, which is fine. I don't mind him. He has not been playing well, though. And the Knicks are on a back-to-back on the road. I don't know. And he's got a mild neck strain. He's probable, but, I think that'll be pretty contrarian. Going down the list, man.
You're not liking it up here, huh?
What? No, I mean I don't mind D'Angelo Russell, but um Darren Collison, I'm looking at DraftKings. He's five.
That's what. Every
Yeah.
yeah,
What's his price?
I was staring at FanDuel.
You got FanDuel?
I was opening on FanDuel. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, tell me what Darren Collison is over there. He's 5'9" on DraftKings. That's a nice price. And like they had their first game without Oladipo, and I believe they got spanked, so he didn't even get his like final rotation. Oh no, it ended up being close. Played 32 minutes. He went for 36 DraftKings points. He, took five shots, 2 threes, got to the free throw line 10 times, got 9 assists, had a 16% usage. Like those numbers could improve, and like he could go for 40 plus, especially getting paced way up against Golden State. Steph Curry, that's like the best defensive draw you can get from that team at this point. So he might have to be the guy doing it. And, he's getting a huge usage bump with Oladipo off. So I like that.
Yeah, I saw that. How bad is his knee injury? I only saw the footage of him taking it, but it looked pretty bad.
Oladipo, he's out for the season. He's done.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, he's done.
Yeah. So Collison 67 over on FanDuel.
Yeah, that's fine too over there because
36 to a 40, 42-ish you want. So
yeah, he could do that. So I don't mind that. I tend to like to go either like all the way up or all the way down on this site, and it's been like just wildly successful. The stars and scrubs on FanDuel, like the numbers on it, it's like it's almost like why would you ever not do that? So it's got to be a good play to come mid tier. Who else we got?
The scoring system on NASCAR is exactly the same thing too. All you're looking for is the guy to win the race, and then like one or two guys to come through the field. That's it.
Yeah.
You want 1, 2, 3, 4, and then like somebody that went from 30th to 15th. That's like all you need to win. So yeah.
There's like one major difference, right? Like they don't give like the laps led or some stat, right? Isn't there like one major difference?
Yeah, it's worth less. So it's like
it's worth less. Okay.
Yeah, it's like 0.1 of a point just for completing a lap, but then
then
the place differential is something else, and then it's a slower paced. You don't get like Kyle Busch put up 137 once last year, I think, and then I know that there was another guy put up what's his face Chase Elliott put up like a 97 on a short track. Like it was crazy. So yeah, but exactly the same thing.
I don't know what that means, the scoring, but
it's like you said, stars and scrubs.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right, I got you. I feel you. Nice. Last guy I'll talk about is Alonzo Trier. He's point guard on DraftKings. He might be shooting guard on FanDuel, but 5'3".
Shooting guard, yeah.
Yeah, Frank Nitti got hurt today. He didn't finish that game. If he's out, the Knicks are going to be down to like just Trier and Trey Burke, and they're both guys who can go for 40. So like he's 5'3" on DraftKings. I'd probably like to get him a little cheaper, but if there's no Nitti, the usage is very, very secure, and
yeah, Trey Burke dudded on it for me today, man.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah, 16, I think it was insane. 15 actual points, and that was like it. No, nothing else.
Yeah, that's all right. You just dropped him.
Yeah.
That's it though.
All right, man. So what you got down in Value Town?
B-Town. Shabazz Napier, what's his price over
there? 49.
Shabazz 49, nice. Very nice FanDuel. Shabazz Napier was like 65% on the other day. He's 46 on DraftKings. Probably too cheap. Shabazz Napier's from Boston. This game is in Boston. He smashed in the same exact spot earlier in the year, and he's just got a huge role. And like Shabazz Napier, like he likes to go and produce. Like that's just like what he does. And at 4'6", 4'9", yeah, He's definitely in play. Trey Burke is definitely in play too. What's Trey Burke's price?
Burke is 45.
45. Yeah, 4-2 on DraftKings. You know, he's the cheaper option to the Trier or Burke conversation. And like on FanDuel, like you don't really want to drop a 4,500, but you can. You know, that way you could still like win a tournament that way. Corey Joseph, he's probably going to be really cheap over there. He's getting a usage boost with Nola Depot. They could get blown out by Golden State. He would absorb a bunch of that blowout run. I don't mind that.
46 on FanDuel.
Yeah, not bad. What's Patrick Beverly? Is he above 5K?
I don't believe so. 46.
46. Yo, Patrick Beverly went bonkers again today, and it was like his second 40 burger in. He went for 53, 35, then he had a 16 and a 20, and then he went for 47 today. And like Patrick Beverly's specialty is steals, right? Like that's like where he has his big ceiling games. He's getting steals, and Atlanta turns over the ball more than anybody in basketball. And his minutes are crazy secure. We're not going to have Danilo Gallinari back yet. He's in the starting lineup. It is a really good spot for Patrick Beverly to go off. There's other options down here. There's Shabazz Napier. There's Trey Dalla. I don't know if he ends up making the cut, but like he might. That's a really good pace game too. Clippers and Atlanta play very fast. They play terrible D. That's the best. Like it's one of the best combinations of teams you can get. There's a little bit better, but those are two of the best. In terms of pace and horrible defense. So you're gonna want players in that game for sure. So that's it. We're not gonna find anything better than that.
All right. Anything you'd say that would be a full-on punt, maybe on FanDuel?
Full on. Let's see what we got for prices. Fucking go. I was on the app, and then I switched to like I just go back and forth from the app to the to the box score of the last game in NBA. And it was just like automatic. Let's see. Who do we got? Tell the people at home, like, what do you consider a punt?
What do I consider a punt? Is just, I guess, a guy that is going to be almost absolutely no ownership, but could potentially somehow have the game of his life. That guy, like you said, 2 or 3 people hurt, and it's just, it might be his first game or something wild like that. Just somebody that's completely unknown that has a chance to go off, I think is what I consider a punt.
Yeah, and very cheap. He's got to be very, very cheap, right? With the drop score, you want to ensure that you're dropping the lowest amount of salary as possible. So and then you want a guy that has major upside if something were to go wrong. Sean Livingston got big minutes the other night against Boston. Actually, I ended up playing 14, but most of them were towards the end of the game. You could do him he could get blowout run. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander's 3,800 against the Clippers. He's been playing big minutes. He went for 34 against Sacramento. That's the guy. That's the punt. Shea Gilgeous, 3,800.
All right, man.
Definitely him.
Perfect. All right, man. Let's jump right into shooting guard, man. D'Angelo Russell over on FanDuel is the most expensive at 8,400.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal play. Listen to these numbers. He can dud and just destroy you because he went for 17 against the Knicks and 26 against the Rockets, games that he should have gone off. But the other 4 games around those were 51, 54, 53, and 51. And that was before Dinwiddie got hurt. And a 45 before that. Scoring guards against Boston, he's the guy. If the Nets stay in this game, he's definitely the guy. Dude, Lou Williams has been absolutely balling, triple doubling. He went for 61 2 games ago against the Bulls, and Came back today, got 12.6 rebounds, 10 assists, 2 steals, only 35, but man, like, you know, he's taken on a whole new role with this team, and it's like he's got major upside against against Atlanta. He could grab himself. Lou Williams had 10 steals in one game last year against Utah. Like, when he's hot, he's just going off and hitting shots. So he's interesting. That game, every player from that game is going to be interesting. Tim Hardaway Jr., we caught that today. I'm not going to take a shooter on the road on a back-to-back. And then you got Alonzo Trier, a shooting guard on FanDuel, 5'3". I think I like Burke better, but we'll see. Nitty was starting, so whoever gets the start will probably get more minutes. So we got to see who that is.
All right. I mean, did either of them play less today? It would be more rested. They might want to play them harder tomorrow. Does that ever make a difference usually in these back-to-backs at all?
So, no, that wouldn't matter, but Trey Burke.
Okay. Yeah, your mic was cutting out there a little bit.
Oh, yeah? I don't know, bro.
All right, man. Yeah, you were talking about the Boston-Brooklyn game. They're giving up 10 points according to the FanDuel Sportsbook.
Yeah, but, Brooklyn stays in the closest games more than anyone. So if it stays close, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
See what else we got over here. Oh yeah, that was it. We going downtown?
Yeah, man. Downtown to Value Town.
Kevin Huerter played 21 minutes first game back from like a 2-game injury stint. Prior to that, he was playing like 34, 37, 37, 39, 36, going for 40s, 41s against the Clippers. It always seems like somebody's out for Atlanta, so we'll see if the minutes become more secure. I don't mind that, but I don't really play him that often. He's better play on DraftKings. Jaylen Brown is playable against Brooklyn. I think I'd rather grab a starter though from Boston. If Jamal Murray's going to be out again, then Monty Morris is going to be viable. He played 27 minutes against Philly. Those minutes should continue if Jamal Murray's going to stay out. Aaron Holiday, Indiana, played 15 minutes against Memphis. That was a very close game. If, this game gets ugly, he could get maybe 25 minutes, and he's like a point per minute kind of guy. He's 3'7". That's a good punt. Golden State could definitely go in there and wax them, be winning by 30 at halftime. So, Aaron Holiday could play like the whole, play like 30 minutes. And he's done it. Like, Oladipo missed, 2 weeks in like the end of November, beginning of December. And this kid was putting up 20s to 30s pretty much every game. So we've seen him do it before. And this is like the optimal kind of setup for it. If it was in Golden State, it'd be even better. But after losing Oladipo, it's hard to see the Pacers keeping up with the Warriors right now, as good as they're playing.
Yeah. How do you think their season's going to turn out with him being out for the whole season?
The same way it was going to turn out. They'll make the playoffs and then probably lose in the second round to Boston, Toronto, Milwaukee, Philly. And then, I honestly don't think it's going to be that much different. And that's probably it. I don't see nothing below that. That's your punt at 3.6, at 3.7. Otherwise, there's a couple decent value plays, but I think up above is where you want to fill the other roster spot.
Yeah, I was definitely feeling D'Angelo Russell and Lou Williams. So, as I'm building my lineup as we go, I like the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I'm with those. I like that.
All right, man. So we'll jump right into small forward, man. France leading the pack over on FanDuel at 9,800.
Uh-huh. So, on small slates, the other day, Durant was 9-2 against Boston. And then the next option was J.J. Redick at 6-1, right? Durant could have a bad game and go for 40. And, Reddick could be the next highest score at the position at like 27, say. And that 13-point differential, even though Durant dudded, is like really valuable on small slates. If you can win a position by that many points, it really sets you apart in tournaments. Today, he does have Tobias Harris in a phenomenal spot beneath him, but ceiling wise, Kevin Durant, could go for 60. Tobias Harris could have a good game and go for 40, and Kevin Durant's really valuable. It's interesting. You know what I mean? Golden State, like, they just got deeper. It's harder to like pay up for their guys, but on small slates on FanDuel, nobody else beneath Tobias Harris has like a chance of having the same score as Durant tomorrow. So like, it's either all the way up or all the way down, pretty much. Like, I don't mind like a Taurean Prince at 5'3", but I don't see that happening. Tyreek Evans at 5'1", against Golden State, maybe. But let's see if there's anything downtown, because I think you just play Tobias and Kevin Durant at this position, like, unless there's a really good punt, unless there's a really good value play, because you're just gonna win this position by a lot. Let the rest of the field fucking play Kevin Knox and get their 25. You just take your 40, double 40 pluses guaranteed. Yeah, man, the value section is like frightening. Actually, I don't even see a guy worth talking about.
Wow.
Yeah, it's alarming. I guess I could throw like, oh, you know what? Joe Harris he's questionable. If he's out, Damari Carroll 4-7. We can talk about that.
All right,
That's
man.
about it. Yeah. Yeah, you're playing Kevin Durant, Tobias Harris tomorrow on unless something opens up. That's it. Like, I don't see that changing. It would take a lot.
All right, man. So what do you got over at power forward?
PF City. John Collins against the Clippers. That's a good spot for this dude. Man, they just like they respect John Collins. Like, his price is always high and it's hard to play him. Like, he's priced like, LaMarcus Aldridge, and like, I think he's good, but he's not that good yet. This is a second-year player, and the last bunch of scores: 29, 51, 27, 29, 35, 31. So one out of his last six, you're sort of happy with. Maybe he's cheaper on DraftKings. It's a tough price. Like, there's other guys that, like opposite a small forward, you got Draymond Green at 7-2. He could easily outscore John Collins. You got Montrezl at 7. He could easily outscore him. So it's just hard to take that top guy at power forward. So, we're going to try to identify guys that can get like 6x or better, like Jason Tatum against the Nets. He certainly could. Marcus Morris against Brooklyn. That definitely could happen. Man, Marvin Williams, man. No, I'm not going to recommend Marvin Williams. That's it. Marcus Morris, Jason Tatum. I like Montrez. I like Draymond. Those guys are good.
All right, man. All right, so anything down in Value Town? Yeah, hopefully it's better than a small forward.
By the way, have you seen what the Manimal has done? Just like, since going to Houston.
Yeah, man.
Like three times, his price just keeps increasing. We just keep playing him, and he just keeps crushing it. He's gone full Manimal mode. It's like, I love that dude. What a great trade that was for him.
Yeah, what did he put up today? Like a 36, I think, right?
36. Yeah, he was 5'9" on DraftKings. He was like 6'4" on FanDuel. Almost 6x on FanDuel, 6.3x on DraftKings. Like, we'll just keep taking those, till he's gonna be like 7,500 soon, and we'll still play him if it's the right matchup.
Yeah, 35.5 is what he put up on FanDuel.
Yeah. Yo, Ed Davis went for 43 against the Knicks in 28 minutes. I mean, you know, he could do the same here against Boston. Boston is terrible against like strong big centers. Like, you know, I think the minutes are fairly secure, especially if like Joe Harris is out. Let's see what Rondae Hollis Jefferson played 23 minutes. We got to look into that. I don't know if either of those guys really would like. I don't know why Ed Davis got 28 minutes against the Knicks. He usually doesn't get that many, but man, he balled out 17.16 rebounds, like smash. Um, but man, I'll tell you what, this Value Town ain't that much prettier than over there.
Yeah, you pretty much Ed Davis is probably the best, safest as a punt down there, like 43, even though it's not really a punt.
Yeah, like it's not a punt, and I don't play Ed Davis all that. Like, there's three nets. It's like Ed Davis, Kuroix, and Rondae Hollis Jefferson, and like all of them could play around 20 to 30 minutes, but we don't know which one, and none of them do you foresee going for 30 like 60% of the time or more? So like none of them are just that attractive. Like that's the worst when you got three guys from the same team, right? I hate three-headed monsters from the same team. It's a nightmare. We got three centers in Lakerville, like 3-point guards with Nets. Thankfully Spencer Dinwiddie got hurt, and now we have like a clear picture. So that I don't like that. So this position right now is Marcus Morris, and it's Montrezl Harrell, Draymond Green, and maybe John Collins, just because you know we we want to get a 40 over here, and he's definitely capable of it, and maybe those other two don't. So those
Yeah.
four guys right now.
So I guess with those three Brooklyn guys that are close, I
Uh-huh.
guess if you thought the game was going to stay close, who would get the longer run? And then if the game was a blowout, who would get the longer run? You can go, try to look at how
So
you think the game's going to pan out.
like honestly, I don't even know, but I'll look at game flows and try to find out. Like Rondé Hollis Jefferson started the year injured. They like eased him back in. He had finally regained his spot in the starting lineup. Maybe played like 3 games as a starter, and he got hurt again. So like he's just coming back. Like they're so cautious with him. I don't think they'd play him that much into a blowout. I don't see why they'd ever play Ed Davis into a blowout, really, but maybe, and then Karoix, they start. So, like, he's probably the most likely to play into a blowout, I guess. I don't know. I got to look at game flows and see if there's patterns, but I haven't, like, looked at these guys. Like, it's very rare that these guys are, like, even in the conversation, honestly,
Yeah. All right, man. So I guess we'll dive right into center, man. What you got over at center? Jokic, 11-4, almost a $3,000, over a $3,000 price discrepancy between him and Marc Gasol.
Your daughter don't like Jokic, so.
Nah, she doesn't, man.
Neither do I, bro. Neither do I. I mean, yo, this guy just came off the game of his life. I hate playing guys off the game of their lives. Number one. Number two, I hate playing guys against Memphis. Number three, like, that's a big price tag. That's just a big ask. So it's doable. If you got the money to go get Jokic, because he's reliable enough to probably get you a 50.
You think that's gonna be enough to win the center position? Like you said, we're trying to just win the position.
Let's see. Let's see. I'm almost positive Miles Turner's got really good history against Golden State, and like with Oladipo gone, if Indy were to keep this game close, like he would probably have to be doing well. Man, Boogie is 7-2. Like,
Didn't take long, did it?
he went for 38 last game, and like they're just like, this guy used to be 12K. Like he was the most expensive center like all season long. So it's just interesting how like certain guys they just like jack up their price, and other guys they don't when like they should, and it's like they're just like making it very very hard to play DeMarcus Cousins, because they're pricing him ahead of his minutes. You know what I mean? Like they're not waiting for him to get 30 minutes. They're just like what if he does get 30 minutes? He could go for 50, and this would be a smash. So they keep like just pushing his price forward. It's hard. Al Horford, I don't mind. This guy is like him and Kyrie got something good going on right now. They have like this little two-man game, and like you go through Horford's logs, and like if he gets 30 minutes, he's usually going for more than 40 outside of like Atlanta when he only got 27 because they blew them out. And Memphis, a tough defensive team, only got 23, but Golden State, Miami, Toronto, Orlando, like those are all different types of teams, tough matchups, good matchups, slow matchups. He just goes for 40, 6'9", in a smash spot against Brooklyn. I don't mind that, especially if you're playing like D'Angelo Russell, get some correlation from this game. Jared Allen is like a GPP guy who can go for 40, but it's like less likely than Al Horford.
You think he'd play better if he shaved his head or something like that, or is that afro helping him?
I think he'd play better if he didn't have three power forwards all like kind of stealing his minutes, Yeah. Like that's the problem with the Nets is they don't play guys 30 minutes. They play like 9, 10 guys. Other teams have like 7-man rotations. The Nets always have deep 10-man, 12-man sometimes, and nobody usually gets over 30 minutes, and it's a bad thing for DFS. Willie Hernan Gomez revenge spot against the Knicks. That he's 4'5". It's not exactly a punt, but I could see him doing well there. The Knicks are terrible against the center right now. It's just Noah Vonleh's a power forward that's like not even big, and he's like our center right now. It's a bad thing. I mean, Mitchell Robinson is getting minutes, but that guy's a fouling machine. He's so uncoordinated. Centers against the Knicks are very, very like they're in play every day, pretty much.
You think the revenge spot has anything to do with it or not?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. It's like both. Like if it was in New York, maybe even more. But like, they kind of gave up on him. He was a kid. He did well when he got a chance to play, and they just kind of sent him packing. They just were like, nah, we don't really like you. And it's like, you see Zubac, starting to get a chance out in LA. Very, very similar kind of players. And I would think he's a little bitter about that. A guy who wasn't drafted, like came in from Europe or whatever country he's from, and a team gives up on you, you don't want that. So he's probably like, I'll show these guys, they made a mistake. I think that's real.
Salty, yeah. Not full pissed.
Exactly. I love that dynamite line there, kids. That's probably it, man. It's a 5-game slate. There's not like a ton of plays worth making. What I like to do on these kind of slates is I isolate the guys at positions that have those big gaps, and I just lock those in, and make a couple different teams with the positions where I think they're deeper, and try to get a bunch of different combos. And it really it's not always going to work out, but it's it works out more often than not. And people are so trained to look at point per dollar and is this guy a good play for his price, but it almost doesn't matter on some slates on FanDuel because of the dropping and because of all these value plays going for 8 to 10x. It's you just want the guy that's going to have the highest raw points by the biggest margins at the positions. So I'll try to identify those spots first, and I'll just go all in on them, and then just have 3-5 lineups of mixing around a few of the other positions.
Okay, man. All right, so that's it for the position by position, man. We're going to jump into the top 3 in each position, man. But why don't you tell everybody that's watching us, over on YouTube, Podbean, listening to us, man, how they can become a part of the nation.
You go to wisestake.com and you sign up. Man. If you're watching this podcast, DFS. uh, Track through like pitfalls of DFS and put you in a position to make it like successful, profitable, and enjoyable hobby.
Yeah, man, the camaraderie, man. You know, everybody. It's always sticking together. Everybody's picking everybody's brain every day. You
Yeah,
know, it's having that. It's awesome. It's
it is.
awesome.
It's good. You know, it like it enhances the experience of playing daily fantasy, and it's like, you know, sure that it could be like an unhealthy hobby if you like abuse it, but for the most part, fantasy sports is like a fun outlet for adults instead of like going to the bars and drinking and drugging and cheating on your wives. It's like you're doing something relatively healthy. You have a chance to like have like, a year changing win, and you might be able to make it a little profit center for yourself. It's like it's a good hobby. Sure, like, yeah, it can get abused. It's some form of gambling, but you know, unlike gambling where you got to bet 100 to win 100, like you can literally bet $1 on DFS and win 10,000.
Yeah.
In certain tournaments. So if you're trying that, you're looking for things to do. It's a really cool spot. Like I'm proud of the website. I really like it, and a lot of the people that come and join, they really don't leave, and you know most of those people that have kind of been here with us have had some of those like month changing, year changing, life changing wins, and like
Yeah.
that's really what it's all about. And there'll be another one this week, and that's just like, how awesome is that? You can be like, baby, we're booking that trip to Aruba. When do you want to go?
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna stay at the nice hotel. Like let's get
Yeah.
that. So yeah, join us. We got a day pass, $2.50. We gotta come up with some new material. Like we say the same thing every time. Like I gotta talk CK. We gotta write some new material. But $2.50 day pass. The only thing you don't get is the Slack chat. You get wise streams, cheat sheets, um, expert polls, cash game articles, GBP articles. Very, very talented staff and talented community. It's just a place to be if you're playing DFS.
Yeah, man, I agree 100%.
Boom.
So
You're living proof.
hell yeah, man.
Yep.
So we'll dive right in and get to the top threes. What you got top three at point guard?
Top traces. Let's see. Who do we like? We like Darren Collison. We like Shabazz and Trey Burke.
Alrighty. So what you got over shooting guard, my friend?
D'Angelo Russell, Sweet Lou, and Alonzo Trier.
Man, what about small forward?
Durant, Tobias Harris.
Yeah, got to win that position, like you said, points wise.
That's it. There's no third. Third would punt. Third is min price punt.
Yeah, 3,500 might not even play. Don't care. Just
you just locking in like, that's basically like you think that Durant or Tobias can dud. You think one of them is just gonna have like a miserable performance, or they're gonna blow that team out, and he's only gonna get like 30. So you go and take the other guy, and then you punt that position. Lowest price slash best major upside play that maybe gets you up to like 38, 3,900. Slate dependent, but like that's really the sweet spot, is to like have a $3,500, $3,600 guy that could go for 40, but ultimately like that's your planned drop. So like you don't even care if he doesn't play. Like you have to have that, and at these kind of polarizing positions, that's the move.
all right, man. All right, getting deeper lesson into how to play for me. I always like to just look for names.
It's good. Well,
awesome.
we're doing the coaching session. Plug. Wednesday, and we've been going through some material. Doing the research on like new trends, and I just.
And how much is it?
It's seven.
Seven.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's it's funny because Professor Cash and DFS and Paulie D class is going to be in session, and we had a huge turnout for the first one, like way more than I thought was going to come. And
when is it?
It's Wednesday. It's 8:30 p.m. You can sign up for it on the site. A lot of people already have, and we're going to cover how to use the on-off tool, how to use game flows and integrate them into your research, roster construction for FanDuel, roster construction for DraftKings, contest selection, and like trends in NBA DFS for 2019. Like, what are like changes, things that we're seeing out there, and then we'll open up for questions. And last time, literally, we got through every single person's questions. Like, it ended up going like 2.5 hours. We were supposed to go an hour. I forget, whatever. It went long, but we answered every single person's question. I think that's like really cool. Like, if you're gonna invest a little bit of money into like doing better at DFS, you want to be able to interact. You know what I mean? And some of the other sites, like you go into their chat and it's like you don't even have a chance of getting answered. It's like calling into like a radio station. Like try and win a prize. So that's another cool thing about what's going on over here.
Yeah, man.
What position were we at? Power forward?
We just finished small forward. Now we're jumping into power forward.
All right. Let me open up that window. Marcus Morris and Montrezl and Draymond.
All right. So what you got wrapping out over at center?
Yeah. I didn't talk about him earlier, but Marc Gasol is definitely going to be in play. Centers have actually been doing the dirty to Jokic, and like Marc Gasol is like he went for 63, he went for 42 in 2 of his last 4. At 8-3, like he could go get you like a 50, and Jokic could get a 60. And like you won with Marc Gasol, right? So, and then you got to upgrade at another position because he's $3,100 cheaper. So, I should have talked about him, and he's probably much cheaper on DraftKings and in play over there. But Gasol, Jokic, and Horford.
Yeah, Gasol 7,800 over on DraftKings.
Yeah. And like, you get the double doubles, the triple double bonuses over there. I don't think he's like a center that gets a ton of blocks, but let me just check that real quick. Yeah, he's got 1 block in his last 7 games. He did have 1 3-steal game, but he's not a big peripheral stat guy. He even shoots 3s, so like the DraftKings pricing structure is a lot better for Marc Gasol.
All right, man. So, anything else you wanted to add before we, run out of here?
No, but this is a cool slate. 5 games. It may be a little bit better on DraftKings. You'll because of the multi-position eligibility, you can kind of like change it up. Like, on FanDuel the other day, I thought nobody was going to be playing Kevin Durant, but I also thought it was like clearly obvious that he was going to win that position, and it was a 4-game slate. And like I said, it was Durant and then like JJ Redick, and like these dudes are sharp in DFS, especially in like the higher dollar contest. And he was like 68% owned. I was like, whoa, like I thought I was like smart, just locking that play, and that is the right thing to do. But like, you don't get that much edge, like on the smaller slates on FanDuel. So maybe it's better for DraftKings. We'll see though. Like, you wake up the next morning after doing these shows, and there's like 3 guys that are ruled out, and the whole slate is different. So
that's what the wise. That's what
the wise streams for, all the content. If you're listening on the Podbeam, on the YouTube, on the Facebook, on the Twitter, on the Twitch, on the I don't even know what else we got. Like, support, share, do it for the nation, do it for CK. That's all I got, man. Take us home.
All right, man. It's a good show, Paulie, man. I'll see you next Sunday or sometime this week, man. If you need me, just let me know.
All right, dude. You the man. Thanks homie.
Brother.
Thanks for filling in. I just texted him, so he might be there. He might not. I don't know. I forgot to do that.
Yeah,
But
it's all right.
it's all good. Yeah.
Yeah, you get the Royal Rumble on, man. I don't know. It might be a few minutes.
That thing's got to be over by now. Who won, Steve? It's still going? Really? I didn't know. I thought pay-per-views always ended at 11. No, that's cool. Who's left? Wow, really? Has Braun Strowman entered? Oh, you didn't close it out?
Yeah.
Steve, we got to